Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl, Princess Leah 888, and this is Tea and Tarot Tuesday. Hey, we are sipping on some of my mango ginger yerba mate. That's a little bit mixed with my berry mint chamomile. It was iced, but it's so hot outside, it's already melted. So, cheers to a nice, cold, melted tea, iced tea. Um, Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome, beloveds. I am an intuitive artist and healer. My mission here on my channel is to do my part to heal the heart of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine through conscious love. If you're a returning family and friend, welcome back, beloved. I always appreciate your support. If you have not already hit that like button on your way in or out, make sure you do so. Give your girl some love. And if you're not a part of my vibe tribe and you would like to be, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know whenever I go live. Tonight is our May. We're going to continue on with our All Signs series. For the month of May, we are going to be tapping into the tarot, the energy, the tea. That's why we call it Tea and Tarot. While we sip on our tea, we're going to get into the tea. For the signs of Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. Now, I'm going to be kind of talking a little bit fast just because I am going to be heading out to a dance class. I'm excited, a little pop-up hip-hop class. And so that's where I'm going to do my best to not talk as much because y'all know that, your girl likes to chat. So let's get our tea on. Let's get into the divine feminine, divine masculine messages from spirit, starting with Scorpio. And we're going to see what kind of tea formations we have for you. I don't want to sleep on y'all, and I also don't want to rush. However, we'll see what we can get through. All right. Ooh, let me go ahead and I think it's okay. We'll see here. Some notifications coming in. However, hopefully it's not too loud. So let's get our timestamp on. So that way you can always come back and check and tune in with who you want to listen to. Scorpio, Divine Feminine, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Let's go ahead and get started with you. What is the strongest energies? I hope you all had a beautiful Mother's Day weekend. If you celebrated, shout outs. If you are a mother, thank you for being a queen and a shiro to this earth. If you are not a mother, that's okay too. Thank you for having, everybody got a mother if you are celebrating. If you're not able to celebrate your mother for reasons, I send my absolute love to you. If it is a hard season for you to celebrate your mother, and just know that no matter what, we are all here loving, sharing, and being guided by this beautiful, gracious, omnipresent, divine love. Hierophant here in reverse for you, Scorpio, Divine Feminine. And Scorpio, Divine Feminine with the Hierophant in reverse. Some contracts are ending, perhaps. Something, maybe you are moving out of a contract. Maybe a contract is expiring. But we have the Seven of Wands and the Chariot here. Seven of Wands, whatever it is that is maybe perhaps coming to an end, you are standing firm and you're not letting any other outside forces try to come in and infiltrate. You see my nose is starting to itch real bad now all of a sudden for you, Capricorn, Scorpio. So there's something, I forget what they say when your nose starts itching or tickling of what kind of channel it is, but there's definitely something on the nose here for you. Maybe you're outgrowing a certain kind of lifestyle. Maybe you're outgrowing a certain kind of soul contract. Maybe you're outgrowing a certain kind of way of life, a way of living. But whatever it is, you are standing in your truth now. And other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's, whatever, or maybe not even other people's. It could even be your own mind chatter trying to come in to talk about, or, talk to you, disempower you, limit you. It could be your ego trying to keep you small, trying to keep you in that little house. I wish we could see the Hierophant card again. But you're not listening to any of it anymore. The Chariot card is here. You have been listening to your your higher self. You've been listening to your guides. You've been listening to spirit. And you've been listening to the truth with the Sun card here. You are listening to what brings you joy, what brings you bliss. You're following what it is that brings you bliss. Whatever it is, you're on the nose, because my nose just keeps on itching. There's a message for you, Divine Feminine, Scorpio. Interesting, I almost said Capricorn, so maybe you have some Capricorn in your chart as well. With with the Page of Wands underneath all that, you are on an adventure. You are entering an adventure. This is an adventure, a new journey for you. So go into this new journey with curiosity, childlike curiosity, using your imagination on this excursion, seeing how you can make it as fun and as exciting as possible with that Sun card. Okay, that Lion, I'm hearing Leo energy. Of just joy and bliss and excitement. Okay, whatever kind of messages might come through for you, take it as it resonates. So let's see what Divine Masculine Scorpio is saying for you tonight. This is earlier than my usual time, and like I said, look at that, you are mirroring the Divine Feminine here with the Chariot in reverse. Divine Masculine Scorpio. So your messages here, that Chariot wants to stay out as well. So maybe you are tuning into your feminine energy, whether it's within yourself, which most likely it is, which is also maybe perhaps mirroring your divine feminine external counterpart, because we all carry the feminine masculine energy within us regardless of gender. So as you are mirroring and channeling and tuning in with your internal divine feminine, as you are shifting your perspective, as you are looking at life from a different perspective, maybe you feel like your world is turning upside down, or maybe you are turning your own world upside down. Maybe you're in some sort of discomfort, but you are learning to see life from a different perspective. Look at that, merging with your divine feminine, merging into union. That's why the Chariot is coming out for the feminine and masculine, because you are reflecting one another. You both are listening to your internal guidance. You're listening to divine timing when you are being told to wait and when you're being told to go, to proceed. The Chariot also represents Cancer, the Cancer sign. So maybe you have Cancer in your chart, and maybe you're tuning into someone who does. But this Four of Wands, 4 11 gates to heaven, that is of divine union. That is of celebration. So maybe you had to, or going to have to in this month of May, Divine Masculine Scorpio, is flip yourself upside down. Maybe you're going to have to flip everything that you have ever known upside down in order for you to see how this divine union works, how you can merge with your feminine. Look, there's the Queen of Cups as well, having compassion for yourself, having compassion for your journey, having compassion for this, time, this moment of rest or pause or waiting, patience, having compassion, but also this maternal energy is what the Queen of Cups also gives, is this maternal. So this could be also about, a mother figure, with Mother's Day having had happened, perhaps there are some things that have flipped upside down for you, that flipped you upside down around this Mother's Day, that is having you move. And I just heard silence, but also in your emotions. Chariot being the Cancer, connected to the Cancer sign, which is a water sign. The Cancer is also considered the mother of the zodiac. So there's some energy. Maybe you are a mother, Scorpio, divine masculine. Maybe you are, um, having some things going on with your mother. Again, this is not about gender or sex. If you are sun, moon, rising, Scorpio, wherever Scorpio is in your chart, maybe you're dealing with that in your masculine side or feminine side, which is, if we need to do a little bit of a recap, feminine energy is that creative, it's the non-physical, it's the emotions, it's the sensualities, okay? The thought, the idea. And the masculine energy is bringing those ideas, bringing those creative ideas into fruition, into creative uh, projects, creative manifestations, into the physical. Feminine energy is the non-physical, masculine energy is the physical. That's why it is important for all of us to make sure we have it balanced within us. Spirit is saying, Scorpio, Five of Swords. Okay. Whatever you're battling with, you are protected. Yeah. Isis is out here. Goddess Isis is with you during whatever kind of battle you have going on. Look, you even have the Justice card. So whatever battle you've been having going on for you, justice is on your side. You can put your sword down. You see, the sword is facing down, which means the battle is done. The battle is won. The Chariot card is also considered a battle card a little bit, because the Chariot is the card where the soldier has to wait for the command of the king to charge. I see 12 on the clock, to complete his um, mission. You have to wait for the commander to tell you, let you know, give you the signal, the green light of when it's time to go to and take charge and charge ahead in this battle. Because if you go too early before the king's command, you may, go into something that you're not ready for. If you go too late, then they may come, and attack you. So you have to trust that the king will know when it's time to go, because the king can see what you cannot, because you are in the battle, Scorpio. The king is outside the battle watching. Okay. You hear what I'm saying metaphorically, right? Your guides, God, Jah, Allah, however you want to call it, is on the watching, omnipresent, watching, always present, everywhere, ever present, watching the bigger picture, the bigger vast that you cannot see. And that's probably why you're hanging yourself upside down. That's probably why you're in here trying to make sure that you stand your ground no matter what's trying to come in. And that's why you are waiting, trusting. When the time comes, you will be protected in this battle. This battle could be within yourself, within your own internal conflicts. Whatever, the Five of Swords is also about setting boundaries. So maybe you're having a battle with setting boundaries. But whatever the case is, justice is with you. Justice is on your side. Queen of Swords is underneath that. Lots of Libra energy right here, Scorpio. Nine of Crystals under that. You're learning how to decipher and discern between your head and your heart. You're learning how to balance your emotions with your practical mind. You're learning how to be able to move in both spaces without getting too overwhelmed in one space. And that's really important. That's why the Nine of Crystals is out here, Scorpio, because Spirit sees that in doing so, in having the balance, the scales balancing, in balancing your the scales are balancing as you balance your mind and your heart, as you balance your emotions and your practicalities, and that'll bring you into the fulfillment that you need. Okay, so look at this. Your T formation I've been holding on to is activating purpose. You are activating purpose right now, Scorpio. That's what all of this is about. You're trusting in the timing this month. Let your guides guide you. Let your intuition speak. Let your heart lead. Okay? God knows. Gracious, omnipresent, divine knows what you've been through. God only knows. What's that song? I've been singing it. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows the real you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. So let's get started. We're going to move into Sagittarius Divine Feminine here. Divine Feminine, Sagittarius, what is the strongest energy for you for the month of May? Sagittarius Divine Feminine here. We have the Hanged Man, look, in reverse. I was trying to not get it in reverse, and I still ended up turning it the other way, which was reverse here. But we have another Hanged Man energy. The Divine Feminine, Sagittarius, looking at life from a different perspective, flipping your life upside down, putting yourself in uncomfortable positions so that you can look at life from and feel from different perspectives, understanding life from different perspectives when you, as you, uh, as you hang in some uncomfortable positions. Sometimes you have to be put in uncomfortable positions, is what I'm hearing, in order for you to fully grasp and understand some things differently, right? When it's kind of like saying putting your shoes, if you had to put yourself in their shoes, kind of thing. Let's see. Wants to stay out. So Sagittarius, Divine Feminine, you're on a path, you're on a journey, but maybe you're not clear. That's why that's why you're hanging upside down. That's why you're looking in different ways. That's why you're feeling uncomfortable in this position right now. Because the path is not clear, but the path is still open. You see, there's wide open spaces. There's still the rainbow in the distance that you're facing and heading towards. You have to trust, though, that the path is wide open for you, even if there's no paved path for you to walk on. You, what I'm hearing, Sagittarius, Divine Feminine, are paving the path. And that's why it's uncomfortable sometimes. That's why you have to put yourself, that's why you feel like you are in uncomfortable positions. That's why you feel like everything is upside down. Because you are paving the path. What are you paving the path for? New generational cycles. You are paving the path for generational legacies, abundance. Yes, Queen. Look at this. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. You are paving the path of absolute, ultimate fulfillment and happiness. Your soul tribe, abundance. We're in Taurus season right now. Taurus is ruled by the planet of Venus, which is the planet of abundance and beauty and love. You are paving the path. Maybe you are the first in your generation to gain, to gain financial wealth, or to be able to sustain your own wealth. Maybe you're wanting to change how your legacy of wealth is for your generations after you, how you endure happiness, how you bring happiness, how you feel happiness. Look at that with the Knight of Cups. Fulfill happiness, something emotional, how you move in romance. You're even paving the way of how you receive romance, how you give romance, how you give love and receive love, romantic gestures that are coming in, romantic offerings that are coming in for you for the month of May. Divine feminine Sagittarius, they may look different. You may have never encountered a kind of, love this way. You may have never learned how to communicate or be in this kind of secure, safe, abundant kind of fulfillment. And that can feel completely upside down than what you've ever experienced before. That can feel like how I don't know where to go. There's no path. I don't know how to do this. I feel blindsided. Like I feel blindfolded. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. But you are trusting. You're trusting in faith. You're walking by faith instead of by sight. That's what is the practice here, is to walk by faith and not by sight, to walk by trust, to learn how to communicate healthily, to learn how to understand that love is a two-way street, and how to learn to build your financial abundance, how to save money, and so that you can have the freedom in your life to build whatever kind of legacy or build business or lifestyle that you want to build, whatever kind of harmony and happily ever after that looks for you, whether it's you and your girls going on trips, or you and your boo, getting married, and having children that are safe and secure and have all the things they need, whatever the case is. Sagittarius Divine Masculine, you are also learning how to be the leader of your household. You're learning how to protect and provide. You're learning how to be the emperor, the divine masculine. You're learning, maybe you're a father, maybe you're a you could be a father or mother, but I'm hearing the breadwinner with the Tower and the Queen of Pentacles to kind of give a little bit more clarification for this Tower. Sometimes what I'm hearing, the Tower card is always so intense looking because it's this literally a burning bridge, and you have the Eye of Horus at the top. You are protected even when everything it feels like is burning to the ground. Even if it feels like everything you have ever known is losing its stability. Even if you feel like you have to jump out of windows of burning houses so that you can survive. Everything that is not in alignment right now is what's crumbling for you in this month of May. This is Pluto going retrograde through the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius being the individual humanitarian. Everything that you have known of how you have been told you need to show up in this world for the community, for the collective, how you got to show up, and be like everybody else, but you're learning that I want to be me. Look, and in doing so, I'm going to find my soul tribe. I'm going to find the people that get me, that understand me, and I'm going to find my own stability. Virgo energy of this Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to get my shit together because that's what has to happen. But in order to get my shit together, Sagittarius, Divine Masculine, you have to let the things that are faulty, that are not in alignment with your true authentic self, that is not in alignment with what God has intended for you, fall. You have to let it crumble. You have to let it, because Pluto is the planet of transformation by facing your fears. Transformation by facing your fears. Death and rebirth is Pluto. And so sometimes you have to let it all fall. Sometimes you have to lose everything to know that you are everything, Sagittarius, Divine Masculine. And in doing so, again, you will celebrate with the people, the right energy, the right resources that will enable you to celebrate, to have a good time, the strength that you need in order to manifest everything that you need in your life to be this beautiful baller as Nine of Pentacles, fulfilled in yourself, fulfilled and stable and happy and excited. But sometimes what you got to go through is this first. But remember, the Eye of Horus is here divinely protecting over it all. Okay? Everything is always working out. Did I already shuffle? I don't even know if I did. I think I did, but let me shuffle one more time. All right. Spirit says, because I'm cutting short on time, so I'm sorry I have to go a little fast. I know. I'm usually here for a solid hour. But tonight is a little bit different. We have the Seven of Cups. Sagittarius, Spirit is saying there's a lot of options, a lot of opportunities for you. Okay? There's nothing you cannot do. There's a lot of options. There's always going to be. And there's going to be victory and success for you. There's going to be recognition for you as you are balancing and harmonizing the Two of Crystals. As you are balancing and harmonizing your life, you are going to come into recognition. You're going to also recognize the power within yourself. Sometimes you have to move a little bit quietly with the Seven of Swords. Just because some people might be trying to sneak around, trying to get your goods, trying to get your ideas so they can go use it, is what I'm hearing, is what I'm feeling with this energy here. But there's that Magician card coming out again. You are the magician. You are manifesting something powerful. That's why you want to go quietly, move quietly. Okay, don't oppress. I see the oppression card. Maybe there are people that have tried to oppress your ideas, that have tried to, tell you that what you want to do, Sagittarius, is not possible, or they want to press your ideas of what but then they go and try to steal your ideas. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you want to move a little bit quietly, but you also want to go within, because I see the Four of Swords as well, which is going within to prepare, to recover, to rest. Okay, especially with Tower energy. So just move with grace, with compassion, with and slowly, because your recognition, your time is coming. Look, you're also activating purpose. So interesting that I grabbed it twice. Same thing as Scorpio. This is time for your purpose to shine, is what I'm hearing. This is the month where your purpose, your soul purpose, is being activated. And what is your soul purpose? It is to enjoy life. Your soul purpose is to build, and not even build, but be all that you are created to be, to experience life to its fullest. Your purpose, Sagittarius, is to truly enjoy life. And all the right people, all the right things will come to you in that matter, in that fashion, in due time, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to Capricorn, Divine Feminine. Capricorn, Divine Feminine. I'm kind of sad that this is so fast. I know. I always look forward to my Tea+Tarot Tuesdays. But if I don't do it now, I won't do it until after these dance classes, and that's gonna be so late, and I'm just tired, and I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be in control of my schedule, not have my schedule control over me, right? Capricorn, you have the Star card coming out in reverse here, Divine Feminine. What are you doubting? What wishes are you doubting are possible? Look, okay. The Ten of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. You are doubting that, maybe you're having some doubt over the wish of your happily ever after, of this story, the ending, the desires of being with the right people, of being with your soul tribe, of being with your beloveds, with your friends, with love. Maybe you're feeling like that you have had this wish of just, being able to offer love, receive love, being in this romantic kind of space, or just being emotionally fulfilled. The seeds that you have planted, you're worried that the seeds that you have planted are not growing. But look, the Seven of Pentacles is here. The plants are growing. And she's even with child, okay? The baby is growing, right? You can't rush a baby to grow any faster than the baby's gonna grow. You can't rush and force the plants to grow any faster than how it's going, then how fast it's going to grow. That's just, you have to plant the seeds, water the seeds, let it get some sunlight, and trust that the magic is happening under the soil, under the surface. And that's what I think you're feeling a little bit worried about, because you can't see it yet. Maybe you cannot see this beautiful, harmonious, happily ever after that is here. That is here, because this is the strongest energy that is coming out. But you may be feeling like, which way do I go? I don't know if I can trust this because I can't see it. But this Two of Swords is about walking by faith and not by sight. Look, the Ace of Swords underneath that. This is about trusting that divine will always move you in the right directions, will always clear out the path, will always cut out the bullshit that is not for you. I'm also hearing divine intervention with this Ace of Swords. The clarity will come. Divine clarity with the crown on there. Divine clarity will come when you trust. When you trust divine. When you trust, believe, and surrender to divine. When you listen to those intuitions. And that's why, even though she has this blindfold, she is trusting that she gonna know when she gonna have to use those swords, right? But I'm hearing, don't cross your heart off, close your heart off just because your eyes are closed, just because you may not be able to see a Capricorn Divine Feminine. But this is your strongest energy. You may not be able to see it right now, but faith is believing that faith is believing in something so much, so hard, that you don't even have to see it to know that it's true. Okay? So what side of faith are you going to allow yourself to lean in? The fear-based faith or love-based faith? Okay? Because if you lean in the love-based faith, then you're going to have God on your side. You're going to have everything that you need. You're going to have your happily ever after. All right? So just remember that. Divine Masculine Capricorn, you got the moon here. Upright. The moon of emotions. The moon of also following your intuition. The moon wanting to stay out. Of wanting to follow your intuition. The intuition around what? Around love with the Lover's card. Some strong major arcana with the Nine of Cups, Capricorn, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, here at the bottom of the deck. So what you don't see is that there is some love and some fulfillment and some, something strong, something stable that is in the works, that is on its way strongly, quickly, inevitably is what I'm hearing. And you can feel it. That's why the moon is out here. You can feel it. But going back to Capricorn feminine, you may not be able to see it. You may not be able to see it, but you can feel it. So continuing back to what I had said to divine feminine. But this love, there's a lot of love energy with the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Lovers here for you, Capricorn. And the Nine of Cups, 9 and 10 of Cups. But the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. However, it is also the most solid. It is the most secure. So even though it takes a long time for the Knight of Pentacles to get there to whatever it is it's offering to, when it offers, it is committed. It is loyal. That's why it takes forever, because it wants to make sure that this is going to last. This love, this divinely orchestrated and blessed love for you, Capricorn Divine Masculine, is going to last and give you the emotional fulfillment that it is that you have been intuitively being guided towards, intuitively crying out to the moon for. I'm hearing Bruno Mars talking to the moon. right? Those dogs howling, crying at night, or dreaming is what I'm also hearing about this love, this beautiful divine love. You can feel how powerful it is. You can feel how magical it is. Keep listening. You might be a Capricorn moon, but if not, that's okay. But listen and listen to what it is that you're feeling. This is the message for both of you, divine feminine and masculine. 9 of Wands here in reverse. So though you have been battered, though you have been broken, though you have been bruised in love, is what is coming through. Though you have been bruised and hurt, it's okay, because you are here, you are ready, you are moving into a new portal. It's time. It's time to release. Look, it's time to let it go, because you have the 7 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. 7 of Wands, hold your ground. Trust that you know your truth, even if these incoming false agreements, beliefs, opinions are trying to come through to change your mind. That's what's so heavy. The 10 of Wands, that's what makes this feel so heavy, because of that 9 of Wands. You've gone through so much. Chiron energy, the wounded warrior, the wounded healer. That's what feels so heavy right now. But even in its heaviness, 10 of Wands means the end of a cycle, the end of this burden. You can lay your burdens down now, because it's time for you to jump into this new portal. Now you can lay all of those wands up here. Leave it on this cliff. Leave it on this cliff and just jump into this new portal, okay? Look, the Empress is here. You're going to jump into this portal and become the Empress. You're going to jump into this portal and attract everything that you are meant to attract. You are going to jump into this portal and you are going to attract everything that has been planted and been growing. As long as you trust, as long as you believe, as long as you continue talking to the moon, talk to the moon, talk to God, talk to, your guides, your higher self, or whoever, whatever, however you want to call it. Because the Empress trusts as well. The Empress attracts and brings it all in and believes that everything is meant for her. Believes that everything. I'm hearing there's no wrong path. And I'm also hearing my favorite quote by Abraham Hicks, that you can't get it wrong, because you'll never get it done. You can't get it wrong. So look at this. Your Persian proverb for the month of May, Capricorn, is he who wants the rose must respect the thorn. Okay? If you want this happily ever after, if you want this divine love, if you want this emotional fulfillment, this emotional and romantic incoming gesture, you have to respect the process. You have to respect the parts that are not so pretty. You have to respect that sometimes it takes a long time. You have to respect that sometimes it's not fun or pretty. You have to respect that sometimes you have to just trust, right? If this is what it is that you want. And this is what you want, Capricorn, because it's written all over right here. And it's right out here for you. The Death card is showing up here. We ain't going to talk about it too much, just because I have to go. But think that is Pluto energy, Scorpio energy of death and transformation, facing your fears. Okay? What is it that you need to face? What are the thorns right now that you have to respect and face in order for you to honor the rose that is yours to receive? Okay? Really good. It's a good question to ask yourself. It's a good journal prompt. It's just a good vibe, good energy, okay? You got this. This is a beautiful read. It feels so short. I feel like it was so like this is as long as my daily divines. But it was good. This was some beautiful energy. I do have to go, but this was some really, really beautiful energy for the 39 minutes that I was able to chat for you, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. I hope you got some good nuggets from it. I hope you feel like it was, something that resonated, that is going to help you with moving in whatever direction you're moving in. I truly do, and I trust that if this message found you, that you did get some guidance, and that you did get some clarity, and that hopefully even some encouragement, because these were really powerful, short and sweet, but very powerful, very beautiful, and I'm here for it. So until the next time, I will see you in the next moon. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe to my Vibe Tribe. Hit that notification bell so you can know whenever I go live. I love you so much. Peace and love. Namaste. Bye.